Sexism is very much alive. If a male is victimized, I've shown you 6 years of what it's like when you're trying to get help as a male. When everybody wants to talk down to you like you're retarded. Here's the thing about Kaitlynne Tatum. Would she treat a woman this way? Would she? Kaitlynne Tatum is one of many people who claim to be my friend that I went to before Natalie was killed. If she's a mandated reporter, why didn't she mandated report? If she's a friend, why didn't she be a friend? See, it's not that I didn't try. It's that my friends did not care because they were never friends. It wasn't a friend thing. It was an I keep them safe and they're grateful. But when they move on, I don't exist anymore. When somebody's not your friend, don't pretend that you care. You may be the only person that they have to depend on, and you're showing yourself to be undependable just like everyone else. Do you think Kaitlynne Tatum is the first person I went to? Not even close. Every single one of my friends blew me off. They didn't have time, didn't have time. You want to tell me now that you're sorry for being a bad friend? Don't tell me. Tell the courts and tell the American people why you're a bad friend. Don't tell me and expect me to just keep it to myself. I'm being harmed everywhere I go because you were too lazy to be a friend. Because you did not care when it made a difference and now people are dead. And it's not just Kaitlynne Tatum. All of my friends are that selfish. All of you are that selfish. I've been streaming for help since 2015. No matter what, it's some excuse. Some excuse. You know, Kaitlynne Tatum could have fucking cleared all of this up years ago. Just by saying, yes, Sean did come to me for help. She's one of hundreds of people. Hundreds. She's one of at least 100 people that I reached out to for help before Natalie was killed. Every one of them blew me off. Every single one of them. They didn't have time. They didn't have time. If they did make the time, it wasn't to fucking listen. It was to tell me how to think and feel. All of these people that I have exposed on my Facebook and my YouTube, it's all the same thing. Whether they talk nicely or turn into assholes makes no difference. When I went to them for help, while Natalie was still alive, they didn't care who hurt me then either. After I'd hurt my back, I didn't matter to any of these people. When I was no longer able to do things for others, I no longer mattered. A man only matters to you until he outlives his usefulness. A friendship is a mutual thing. Or at least it's supposed to be. It's not that I didn't reach out to my friends. It's not that I didn't ask them for help. It's that they all wanted to go out of their way to procrastinate, assuming somebody else was going to do it. Well, nobody else fucking did it. All of you blew me off. Every single one of you. Every single one of you, rather than be a friend, would rather push me to commit suicide. Why would you do that if you were a friend? I came to you because I was being abused and you blew me off. And I came to you because the abuse got worse and you blew me off. And people ended up dead and you blew me off. Still, I went to you for help before Natalie was killed. Whether you are an actual friend or not, that is a fact. I never stopped trying to get help. It's that literally every one of my friends will make any excuse not to do the family or friend thing. In order for you guys to get away with that, you have to literally pretend that all of the times that I tried to get a hold of you to get help, that I screamed every single time, or that it never happened. You had plenty of opportunities before I started screaming on Facebook, mostly because I didn't have help in person with doing any of this. When an at-risk adult is being abused, there is only one thing that you can do to help, and that is to help turn in the abuse immediately. Hundreds of people wouldn't even listen. I had about 350 friends on my Facebook. All of them but two I knew in real life. It didn't matter who I was. All it takes is the right lie, and everyone, including Kaitlynne Tatum, is going to go hide under a rock and pretend you don't exist. They're going to go out of their way to talk over you and tell you how to think and how to feel. I didn't come to you for you to do that to me, for you to entirely dismiss me for 6 years. The point here wasn't let's make a deal. Kaitlynne pretends like she's going to help me. In exchange, I don't talk about her on the internet. No, Kaitlynne, you need to talk about the situation on the internet. You need to tell the world. That's right, Kaitlynne, I have been showing you. The people have been doing this from all across the fucking globe. Kaitlynne Tatum. But for some god-awful fucking reason, I gotta go to a bunch of web sleuths from all over the world who are contacting me and bullshitting me because I don't have any real friends who really give a shit. Kaitlynne Tatum, the shit that you have kept a fucking secret for 6 goddamn years is felonious. The fact is, you never cared. None of you ever cared. You showed that when I hurt my back. And all you can do is give me pretty fucking words. What I needed was help turning in abuse. And how the fuck is that gonna work when you're doing the same things? I get that you don't want your name associated, but you pretended to be my friend and I reached out to you for help. My predators got away with doing this shit by pretending I never tried to get help. The least you could do as a fucking friend is admit that I went to you for help. Instead of making 10,000 suggestions, in the last 6 years, have you bothered to find out what I have tried and what I have done? No. Your suggestions show that you think I am too fucking retarded to even know that Natalie Bollinger's dead. Your suggestions show that you think that I am too retarded. Too retarded to know that they caught her killer. I announced that her killer was caught a full day before they announced it on the news. Yes, I fucking know that, Kaitlynne. Every one of you who pretended to be my friends before Natalie died, every single one of you did the exact same thing as Kaitlynne. Just Kaitlynne was dumb enough to stick around this long. You don't like that? You don't give two shits about people threatening to kill me and my family and my friends for the last 6 years. Guess what, Kaitlynne? You're one of them. You're one of the people that I considered a friend. You're one of the friends that I went to, who literally blew me off for years, that I have been speaking out about how wrong that is for years. You let people hurt me for 6 years. Let them. You let them. You forced me to show on YouTube and Facebook that I did go to you for help. I didn't want to do that. Don't fucking pretend to care. You had 6 years to actually care. Kayla Trujillo has had 6 years to actually care. There's a reason your stuff is up here. There's a reason that Danny's stuff is up here. There's a reason that there are conversations with Kayla Trujillo up here. If you're my friend, then be a friend and help me turn this in. 6 years worth of assaults because none of my friends care. 6 years of abuse because none of them care. Don't call me friend. No matter what, you go out of your way. You know what? For 6 years, let me tell you about Kaitlynne Tatum. She is one of many people that I went to because I was being abused. She is one of many people who could have taken the time before people ended up dead, who didn't. She is one of many people who could have told the truth and did not, because she was ashamed. That's not my fault. I'm ashamed of all of you. Every single one of you. Don't pretend to be a friend. Kaitlynne Tatum Just like every one of my friends from before Natalie was killed, every single one of them showed why it is the disabled and the homeless males don't get help. All of you blow us off. We don't matter. If we were a real friend, you would help us turn it in instead of arguing and saying, oh, I didn't see it. Well, I'm trying to show you the fucking evidence. For 6 goddamn years, I've been posting it up on Facebook and on YouTube because you don't care. You don't care to look, so I have to try to find help elsewhere. Not only that, but I have to prove that I'm telling the truth, which includes that I went to people for help before Natalie was killed. You don't stop to consider the obvious. How is it not obvious that I am trying to get help stopping abuse that is ongoing because of slander? The cops said I didn't try to get help, Kaitlynne. They used that as an excuse to deny my rights after I'd been trying to get help from you. It's not that I didn't try to get help. It's that when you're a male, everyone blows you off. It doesn't matter. You exist to serve them, not the other way around. And this isn't a servitude thing. This is a Jesus fucking Christ. If your friend is being harmed and they're coming to you for help, be a fucking friend. I needed Kaitlynne Tatum's help, turning in all of the other friends like Kaitlynne Tatum. Well, my friends were actively fucking ignoring me and blowing bullshit up my ass. Sean, you need to move. Hey, I already did that. Sean, you need to call this place. You need to call that place. You need to call this place. You need to call that place. I can't do it alone. I will get blown off, you fucking twit. None of this is about me or Kaitlynne Tatum. It's about showing the fucking truth and stopping the abuse. But no, we can't have that, can we? Kind of like with Chelsea Aiken. Yeah, sure, she can tell me that shit, but she needs to tell the fucking public. There's all these people that came to me for help, and I helped them. And when I needed help, just fucking crickets. Oh, wait, no, they could ask me to do a bunch of shit for them. They could still ask me to do shit for them. And what's this pretty white girl bullshit in your heads where you believe, apparently, that crimes don't happen to men, or that ignoring the predators and ignoring the victims does anything good whatsoever? No. What that leads to is more fucking abuse. That is neglect. That is neglect. Kaitlynne Tatum doesn't need to say she's sorry to me. She needs to say she's sorry to the Bollinger family and to the other victims for not coming forward, for not telling the truth, for letting this false narrative go on for 6 years because she was ashamed. You're goddamn right she was, and for good reason. That's the story of us. That's the story of Sean Schwartz the Wicked. Breaks his back for everyone else and they give him pretty words. I tried to make the world a better place. And those of you who claim to be my friends and family made it a worse one. You made it as horrible an experience on this planet as you could. I see who you care about. You care about the people with the drugs. You care about the people with the alcohol. You care about the people who will pamper you with attention. You want to be pampered with attention. That's what you want from a friend. That's not what I'm after. My predators got away with doing the things that they did because my friends, like Kaitlynne Tatum, did not actually care. People will pretend because they don't want to end up on the internet. Well, you know what? They wouldn't have ended up on the fucking internet if they'd have been an actual friend to begin with instead of being sexist. Instead of being biased. Is this really a friend? What does Kaitlynne Tatum do with her actual friends? With the time, or with the people that she makes time for? What does she do? Goes traveling, goes on vacation, goes out drinking. And I get it. Y'all are like, oh, well, that's okay. People should be allowed to do that. They should be allowed to do that. You're right. You're right. People should be allowed to go out and hang out with their friends. And that's the problem. I'm not allowed. I haven't been able to go and see my friends without being harmed since I hurt my back in 2015. Do you have any idea how dangerous the situation it was for me in Boulder, Colorado, with police killing my friends? No, none of you cared. None of you cared. You see this stuff all over the news. But you don't make the connection, even if I am screaming at the top of my lungs, between Kaitlynne Tatum being a friend in 2017 and all of this bullshit. No, Kaitlynne Tatum, did I come to you for help in 2017? Did I come to you for help in 2018? Did you fucking help? Or did you blow me off for 2 fucking years? And then you finally send a character reference. Here's the thing, Kaitlynne. And all of that time, I was on my Facebook trying to get someone to help. Because you were not dependable. You were not a friend. There's a reason that all of you are on here. I didn't just magically become an at-risk adult. I was an at-risk youth who was dropped off on the fucking streets at 18. There is only one thing that prevents us at that point from being victimized for the rest of our life, and that's having one real friend. One person who actually cares. One person. But no, even Kaitlynne's got 2 sets of friends. I'm a charity case. That's all I've ever been. She's never invited me to go do fun shit with her. None of them ever did. Until Devin. You know, even in Boulder, Colorado, I would tell the people at Starbucks about the abuse I was enduring, and that includes Kaitlynne Tatum, and it was always the same thing. I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry that happened. Fuck you. If you were fucking assaulted and you needed help turning it in, how the fuck would you feel if every single person that claimed to be your friend did the same thing? You know what I did for that whole year before Natalie was killed? I jumped through all the hoops that every one of you told me I had to jump through to get your fucking help. I told you, no, what I need is help. Actual help. I need a friend or a family member. But everyone was too busy talking about themselves, not caring how much I was assaulted, not caring how much I was threatened, not caring about my family and my friends, being selfish. Lots of people told me to get new friends. New friends or not, Kaitlynne Tatum is a fucking witness. So's Neil DiMacchio. So's Tony DeStassi. So is King of Nichols. So is Kayla Trujillo. So is Maddie Boa. I've been harmed over a false narrative for 6 fucking years. Not that it matters, the term mentally ill has been used to ignore me and treat me like shit my entire life. Anyone can victimize me and get away with it. I'm expected to do things that I'm not fucking capable of. I'm not capable. I told you I can't. That's not from lack of fucking trying. It's because nobody else gives a fuck. Don't pretend to care. And if you're a mandated reporter, do your job. Don't fucking blow somebody off for 6 goddamn years. Don't go out of your way to pretend that you weren't involved just because you were fucking embarrassed. Just because you were fucking ashamed. I don't give a fuck about your shame. You're not the one enduring this, you stupid sack of shits. That's the thing, when you're homeless, there's a reason you're homeless. No matter what excuse you make for homeless people, it's not okay. Because those are excuses that you blanket all of us with and use as an excuse to look away. If you do that to a black person, it's wrong. If you do that to a woman, it's wrong. So why is it okay to do it to a white person or a man? You know what? I'm not going to pretend that I didn't try to get help just to make you fucking happy. Just so that you can hide where you screwed up. You screwed up. Just like Danny Francis screwed up. You guys care about the LGBT, but you don't care about anybody in those groups. You know, I'm not interested in sex. Literally all of these women can fucking tell you that. I've got recording after recording with drug dealers who admit I don't do drugs. Don't pretend to be a friend. Don't pretend. You had your chance to be a friend before Natalie was killed. You had your chance to come forward about the fact that I came to you before Natalie was killed. You had every opportunity to listen to me between now and then instead of bullshitting me and lying to me and telling me you're gonna this and you're gonna that and procrastinating. I'm being abused while I have to wait for you. Because I don't have any friends or family. I have to depend on fakes like you. I get that I was never, ever a real friend to any of those people at Starbucks. I was just a charity case. And that's the problem with a charity case, is that here's a sandwich, here's a sandwich, here's a sandwich, here's a sandwich. Your sandwiches don't stop the fucking abuse. Your sandwiches don't get what you know into court. My predator said that I didn't try to get help. The desperate things that I had to do, yeah, Kaitlynne Tatum. In 6 years, every single law that I have had to break is because I don't have any real friends. I have fakes like you. Between going to you for help and breaking the law, go back through our screenshots. I had to go talk to law enforcement and other agencies without a friend or family member. A friend or family member. I reached out to people who claimed to be my friends. None of them cared. Not one of you cared. You wanted to tell me pretty words. You think pretty words fucking fix everything because you're a white girl. I get it. You can't understand because you're a white girl. I get it. That's not a valid excuse. You don't understand because you're a woman. I get it. I think it's sexist as all hell. But I get why you make that excuse. I get why you treat men differently than women. You're taught to be that way. You are taught that men don't matter. Your charity cases are not your friends, Kaitlynne. If one of your friends went through this, would it take you 6 years to speak up? Or would you make every excuse not to even find out? You're busy making excuses, not finding out. You lead me on that you're going to help just enough that you might be able to pretend that you were going to do something. But you weren't, Kaitlynne. You've shown that for the last 6 years. All it would have taken to stop this abuse is one person who cared about me enough to stand up and say, hey, enough is a fucking enough. The reason you didn't know nothing is because you didn't try to know nothing. You went out of your way to not give a shit. You make time for what you care about. You don't stop to consider how inhumane you are treating me. I can see plainly and clearly the difference between you and I. You have people that actually fucking care about you. You have people in your life who you can go do fun things with. The problem is when a man is traumatized, you use that as an excuse to look away. A man is not allowed to be traumatized by his abuse. He's not allowed to speak out about his abusers. If he speaks out, he is abused and neglected by his friends, by his family. That is what homelessness is, by the way, is victimization. When you force somebody into a desperate situation, and then you want to complain that they did desperate things. I wouldn't have had to do any of this desperate shit if any one of my friends in real life was a real friend in real life. But they weren't. It's either some dipshit who wants to give me a fucking sandwich as a goddamn charity case, or somebody who fucking wants something from me, and once they didn't have anything they could take from me, all they could do is be emotionally abusive. Treat me like I am a bad person for trying to get help. Did I come to you for help? See, that's not fucking complicated. Have you bothered to watch any of them Natalie Bollinger things? Have you bothered to find out how much I have been harmed over that shit? No, you're not going to watch it. Oh, a sensationalized version, I'm sure. Yeah, don't be fucking sure. Fucking watch it. That's the problem. In 6 fucking years. You know what? All of this could have been stopped just by you simply being a friend and helping me turn it in. I needed help. I reached out for help. I spent literally tens of thousands of dollars to try to get help, while spending tens of thousands of dollars to jump through hoops for predators that never would have gotten away if you, in the last 6 years, hadn't been a piece of shit friend. I needed a real friend. Just one real, actual friend to help me to turn this in. Now it's 6 years worth of abuse, Kaitlynne, and that includes abuse by you. No, I'm not nice. I'm not nice. Neglect is abuse, and I could not take care of myself, and you knew it. You know I'm honest. It's unfortunate I have to be honest about you. My YouTube channel is full of evidence of abuse and neglect. Abuse from my predators and neglect from my friends. It wasn't the abuse from my predators that made me want my life to end. It was the neglect from people like Kaitlynne Tatum. Can't even admit that I went to you for help in 6 years. You don't stop to put yourself in my shoes in 6 years. It's not that you didn't have the time, Kaitlynne. It's that you didn't make the time. You didn't care enough about me to make the time because I didn't matter. I'm not family. I'm not a drinking buddy. I'm the guy that the homeless went to for help. When he needed help, fuck no. You're on your own, dude. You're on your own. You're on your own. The people that I helped were able to get help because they had me there with them. And even those people threw me away and pretended like I hadn't done anything for them ever. No matter what, there's always some excuse. Why is it that not a single one of my friends helped me to turn in the abuse? Why is it that every single one of them wanted to argue and talk over me like I was a mental fucking retard? Meanwhile, the shit that I'm being treated like I'm mentally ill and schizophrenic for saying, I've gotten these people to admit to, and I've posted up evidence of. Yes, I did go for help. Yes, I did try to help. I never stopped trying to get help. Whether these people are friends or not, they are witnesses to the fact that my predators lied. That's what I need them for. Obviously, they're never going to be real friends. I don't give a shit about that at this point. This is about getting the truth out there and stopping the abuse. When I say it's good to be rid of you, that's because I really can't stand people. They're shitty and selfish and two-faced, and they only know how to small talk. Between small talk and getting off your ass, you will small talk. You try to turn everything into small talk. When a friend comes to you about being abused, you want to make fucking small talk. You want to talk about yourself. That is entirely dismissive of the victim. When I say thanks for coming to visit, it's because I do like you. You know, I like to socialize too. But when you're a homeless person, socializing with a homeless person, you just don't do it, do you, Kaitlynne? You talk to them in Starbucks, and you pretend to be friends after that. You're allowed to move on, Kaitlynne. And you had every invitation to do so. I'm showing the truth with or without you. The fact that you're making me do it without you just shows that you are such a shameful person. 6 years. 6 years of you being a shameful person. All of you. Same with Joanna Taylor Smith. You know, these web sleuths like Mandy Hughes and Alyssa Rainwater and Dan Faber, you know, I can forgive them. They didn't know me in real life. They were never actual friends. But when you said you were my friend, I believed you. But look at how useless you have been. All I asked out of you is for you to tell the truth. And to call and listen. Actually listen. Actually pretend that I am a friend. Instead of making me talk to my fucking phone.